And what's going on? Happy Sunday, you guys. Another episode of the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, the panel edition. Um, what's going on? I mean, I'm just, I've been off, was off last week, and we were all on vacation. I know me and Kev were on
Oh
vacation.
yeah.
And it's just been trying to get back in tune and get back on social media. It has really been crazy and everything. So, the way I start out every show is, how was you guys this week, Kevin? How was your week coming off vacation, brother?
My week coming off of vacation, I feel light, a little bit more. I don't know. I just feel. I even told my wife, even at work, I don't feel drained. So that's how much I enjoyed my vacation.
Yeah.
Uh, that bottle back here. Yeah, we finished. We finished those.
Oh, oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Y'all beat people up
but
on them too. I remember that.
yeah, we I had a really great time with my wife, just me and her.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
my week has been great. Went to SeaWorld yesterday, so
Yeah.
we're gonna start off the week even better.
That's what's up.
I feel like it, so I'm ready. I'm ready for this week.
That's what's up. Quinn, man, how was your week, bro?
Hey man, my week was pretty decent.
You got a new computer,
Chill work week.
new headset.
Got my new PC.
That's
Then
what's up, man. We proud of you, bro.
Saturday was like almost perfect, bro. Like I got up about 5 o'clock in the morning, smoked my ribs. You know
I
what I'm
thought,
saying?
I thought you were gonna
Then,
say smoke your weed.
no, I smoked some ribs that were
Okay.
perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Put them. You know what I'm saying? Then got up Saturday, went to Chick-fil-A, no line on a
Yeah.
Saturday
Yeah.
morning,
Yeah.
no line.
Today was a
Then
good day.
went to Starbucks, ordered my drink, and they messed it up. So
Oh no.
they fixed another one and gave me two of them.
Ooh.
Nice.
So it was two
Good.
for one. Got
Yeah.
back home, and I was just like, yo, today is busting. I cooked my dinner.
Said that day is
You know,
busted.
ate my breakfast. I mean, it was just like I ain't had a day like that in a long time.
Yeah. Mama cooked the breakfast with no hog, no small. Yeah.
Only thing, bro, is just like
Excuse me.
I ain't see the Goodyear blimp.
Yeah.
You ain't say your boy Quinn is a pimp.
Oh man, that's crazy. That's what's up, man. I tell you what, listen. I went on vacation. Those of you that don't know what I did on vacation, me and my wife and family, we drove. I went home. I went home. I went to North Carolina, and I hadn't been home since 2019. Let's say I hadn't been there since 2018. So I got to see. Um, I went to my mom's grave. That's my first stop when I go home. I see my grandma. I saw my brother, and then we went to an Airbnb. We drove from North Carolina to Blue Springs, Georgia, which is northern Georgia. We had an Airbnb down there, which is pretty cool. I had my daughters. I had Tanika and Brianna, and I had all of my grandkids all in one
Ooh.
room. And so that was pretty awesome. That was pretty awesome. And I had seen there was two of my grandkids I had not seen, not met since they've been born. So that was Cairo and RJ, and that was cool to see. Got to play with them, and it was just an awesome time. And we got to heal a little bit because some of us were still broken. You know,
Mm.
we had that come to Jesus meeting here last year. We did the connections on the show, but you know, uh, we got together and we healed a little bit. So that was good. It was good, man. My wife made all the plans, and I thank God for her. She's on the road. She's traveling right now. Well, actually, she's in Twin Falls, back where we came from.
Man, she
Uh,
does a lot of traveling.
she does, and she don't mind doing it either. 19 hours from here to Twin Falls, Idaho.
You know what?
Um,
God bless her soul.
yeah, man. She went out there. She to be her best friend. Mother passed away the day we started our vacation. Her mother passed away,
Now
and
that's a friend. That's a
so
real
she went
friend.
out to, yeah, we got back. We finished up vacation. We came back, and she instantly drove out there. to be with her, and so she'll be back on Tuesday, Wednesday. I miss my honey when she go on vacation, when she leaves, but Lord, I'm lonely. I be having.
Shout out to Miss Little, man. Shout out to
Listen,
Miss Little.
Yeah, shout out to Miss Melissa, man.
Yeah,
But you know what? I'll get on the road for that for my boys, man. Like real talk.
Yeah, ain't either one y'all come see me. Oh, okay. Let's move on. All right. So
somebody call me. My.
Wait a minute,
What
man.
you say?
Let's
What'd
move
you say?
on. No.
Hold up, no, wait, hold up.
Wait, I'm just saying what happened that was tragic.
My internet was breaking up. My internet was breaking up.
Oh my goodness. That's just
what happened that was tragic. Like that you was downtrodden.
Why gotta be tragic?
I'm trying to figure it out.
Why gotta be tragic? Why do I have to see?
I said like she went there to support her. She went there to support her best friend in a time of need.
She was going out there anyway to see her.
Hold on. Wait, Q. But notice how this Negro said we got to go see him, but he ain't said nothing about coming to Texas.
Hey, I'm coming to Texas. I don't know where Quinn live.
Dirty.
I'll come to Texas.
He ain't even trying to cut to Mississippi. He ain't trying to make that trip.
But I told you about Texas, man. It's hot down there, bro.
It's hot in Mississippi too.
Fat guys like me don't survive too long in Texas, man. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Last time I was in Texas,
I had a wedding.
Terry, I had a wedding. My granddaddy told me a long time ago. Excuses like assholes. Everybody got one, son.
I had a wedding. I had a wedding. He did. Yeah.
I don't even know why I couldn't come to that one because I think something came up. Money. It was money, and I couldn't get there. I just financially
because you had just changed your job and everything.
Yeah, I financially couldn't do it. That's what that was. But I get what you're saying. All of us should really get together and find a central meeting spot and do a meet.
Nah, we should just crash on E Digger and
pull up on E.
All go to Baltimore and pull up on E.
Pull up on E. That'd be cool.
He work schedule won't work. He'll be hanging out with us and his phone ring. He gotta go to work.
Shout out to E Digger.
My boy.
Let's get into it. I want to welcome everybody to the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast. Final now that we have the formalities out of the way, let me shout out everybody over at BS3, being and all those folks, all the shows, all the creators and producers over there. We are actually in the midst of doing the BS3 awards. So if you see a survey on my particular Facebook page, hey, exactly. Oh,
look at my wife. You look at the mutual. It's just a mutual in Atlanta.
Atlanta's a good place. Yeah, I rode past.
Can't go during baseball season though.
Yeah, I rode past Truist Park too. Now I think about it now. I mean, to tell you that pretty nice stadium. It really is. But yeah. So if you see a survey, if you follow me on Facebook and you see a survey for BS3, whatever category it is, go ahead and vote. Let's help us out. I don't think this show was part of any categories. It's okay. Next year we will be because we're gonna start doing bigger things. But shout out to Ben and everybody at BS3. All right.
Shout out to them.
Yes, sir. So we're gonna get into our first topic. Let me go ahead and pull up my stuff here. Let's get into it. The first topic of the day is a pastor. What's that boy's name? I don't forgot his name. Hold on, I got it in my captions. Hold on. All right, Pastor Carlton Funderburk. Now I'm gonna tell you. If you guys don't know who Pastor Carlton Funderburk is,
you don't want to know who he is to begin with.
Pastor Funderburk is a pastor I hear in Kansas City. Now Kansas City is about 2 hours from me. But he is a pastor in Kansas City. He went viral just this last week. He went viral on TikTok for his comments to his congregation. So let me go get that pulled up for y'all so I can kind of catch what he said here if y'all didn't catch it. Hold on here.
See, that's how I know you still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted because of how you've been honoring me. See, that's how I know you still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted because of how you've been honoring me. I'm not worth your McDonald's money. I'm not worth your Red Lobster money. I ain't worth your St. John knit.
Good afternoon, Ben.
I ain't worth y'all Louis Vuitton. I ain't worth your Prada. I'm not worth your Gucci.
No.
Mother, I'm saying this, and I promise you, Deacon Ian, it's not with respect of want. I'm saying it because I want you to understand just what God is saying. I even found out that Movado, you can buy a Movado watch in Sam's.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
And y'all know I asked for one last year. Here it is the whole way in August. I still ain't got it. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Let me kick down the door and talk to my cheap sons and daughters.
Ooh, we should have had Ben in here for this one. Ooh, I want his
Ben in
perspective on this. No, I want him. I want Ben. I wanted Ben. You know what? And that's my fault. I should have mentioned Ben because I know Ben has something real deep in conversation to say about this. I know there's been some discussions on the other podcasts that I've jumped in and watched for a little bit. I had to jump out because of work, but I know Ben is he's already rolling. It's everything that's already rolling in his head. When he saw the clip right away, he jumped in it. By the way, I want to ask you, do you drink water up there in Kansas City? Do you drink that faucet water?
No,
I think it's something in that faucet water. There's something going on, y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all tripping in that area.
Here's the thing with Pastor Frellenberg, and Ben's putting in the comments now, and that is exactly what I've been saying for years, is that this is what's wrong with the church, man. This is what's going on with what's wrong with churches and pastors. And this is the reason why we can't get the unsaved folk in the building, because of people like this.
I told y'all a while ago, that's why I don't dot them doors, because they all about money.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There was somebody, and I said this on the podcast about a year ago on our show. It was a little over a year ago it happened. Someone asked to lay $100. He asked the whole congregation, the whole church, to come and lay $100 at the pastor's feet. And it disgusted my brother and my brother Pete, and some it was bad. It was very bad.
You ain't talking about Jamal. You're not talking about Jamal Brown, are you?
I can't remember his name, but they couldn't. No one knew how to react. You want to be. A lot of people in the churches nowadays are holier than thou, and they want to be in the moment. They want to have the Holy Ghost, but how do you react? They didn't know how to react. They didn't know how to feel like, hey man.
Well, okay. Okay.
It's ridiculous.
Let me help you, Kev. I'm going to help you there, okay? Because I grew up in the church, right? And so we had those different cliques of preachers and pastors who, you had certain people like I don't know if you guys remember Pastor Jerry Falwell, who he's been passed away now a good long time, but Jerry Falwell was a fire and brimstone preacher. All he preached was Revelations. That's all he preached, right? And you had Creflo and Robert Tilton. And you had all these folks who preached prosperity. And so it was always a different, it's always a different clique, right? And so my stepfather, when he preached, it was always about salvation and getting people to join and saving people's souls. It was never about the prosperity or fire and brimstone. Now he had sermons where he did preach fire and brimstone. There was some sermons that he did preach prosperity, but it wasn't like that was his clique, right? The church today, it's all about prosperity. It's all about having those Rolexes and the Phantom Bentleys and all that good stuff. Where the message, as far as the church, has totally gotten lost. As far as why they are doing this. Why do you crack open the Bible in the first place? Do you do it to collect $1? Now, when you mentioned the story with your brother, the pastor with the $100 and all that, I saw a video personally with Jamal Bryant was teaching a story on tithing, and that made sense because it wasn't about him. He made it about the person that he had up on stage with him. So it's about, you can always tell when it's wrong when it's me.
But see, this is what I see, and I'm not going to put it out there. I see the evangelists and the Catholics wanting to take away rights from people. They preaching that all of this, about the things of abortion, and they preaching what a woman's place should be and all of this. And then you got these Baptists and what they call Kojic and all these type preachers that are preaching all this prosperity, wanting to be worshipped. Like both sides want to be worshipped as if they're the actual God you should be worshiping.
Right.
But you feel like you should be praised upon and blessed upon with financially because you giving this message that's really your opinion and your own interpretation of what the Bible says. And really, you probably ain't even reading from the scripture. You just going on the internet, pulling a couple of quotes off that relate to what the topic you want to talk about. I honestly feel that some of these pastors don't have legitimate knowledge of what the true nature of the religion is. And what bothers me even more about Christianity is that it's rooted in Judaism. That's where your religion comes from, and yet you do not pay attention to that at all. You don't learn.
You're gonna touch a few souls today.
You don't pay attention to what the roots of the religion is. Christianity is one of the, other than like some of this new stuff, like Jesus, Latter-day Saints, and all of that. Christianity is one of the youngest religions and had the audacity to call other religions heathens.
Right.
Well,
okay. What else? So, hey, Quinn, before we go any further though, who are you looking at, sir?
I'm looking at the screen, looking at y'all.
You need to look
at the cameras right here.
Right.
It's kind of throwing me off.
So when you start talking though, talking to your camera. Because I'm like,
I was like, who are you fussing?
The sound of his head. I'm like, who are you talking to? Like,
because I'm trying to read the comments over here on the screen too.
Ain't none scrolling right now. When we get some scrolling, I'll let you know.
So here's my thing, and and what Q is saying, I agree with. But that's not to say all pastors are like that. I'm lucky. I'm very lucky to have a pastor, and Pastor Will. Shout out to my pastor who married us. Q, you got a chance to meet him. He's a very great dude. This guy was in the military. Man, and like there it is right there, my wife. He preaches about from the Bible, the rules of the Bible, the rules of engagement from the Bible. And when we do tithes and offerings, there's a song that we listen to while we're doing tithes and offerings, which is there's a few lyrics: give and it will come back to you. Good measure, break down, shake it together, and run it over. So, and that's an actual verse and scripture from the Bible. And we break that down. And a lot of these churches don't, like Q says, they don't break anything down. They just go and run with it. Okay. And I think that's a lot of these new people, these young, and I haven't seen any old pastors do this
because they don't. Okay, and I want to tell you the
reason why.
Young,
and I'm seeing young pastors get out of character or actually show or show their real self.
That's what I was going to say.
Going into, and it's just a lot of it has to do with greed. A lot of it has to do with their self mechanism, how they don't interpret the Bible well. And it's very hard for people to join church. Like you said, Terry, it's very hard for people to go in and trust, because you got to trust this person. This person is supposed to be the messenger of God.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're not, if we can't follow you, we can't trust you as our messenger. What makes you think we want to go in? We can't just go to a church and say, all right, I choose you. I choose this as my church home. I choose you as my messenger. We can't just do that.
Right.
Because we can't, that trust, and it has to be given. We have to feel that.
Right.
And a lot of people don't they don't go in. They'll choose churches out of whatever morality that they have. They'll just go in and all right, this is the nearest church.
You know what? We could
to
stay
our
here.
house.
We could stay right here all day
It's
long.
just-
We could the whole show.
We could.
Listen,
But we drive to our church, man. We don't, I love my pastor. Like I said, a pastor. Well, if you got a chance to meet him, Terry, a very genuine guy. And I love how
a lot of it is pride being you.
A lot of it is pride. A lot of it has to do with a lot of pride. It's a lot of pride and self-uncertainty.
Okay, let me help. Okay, let me help because there's so many layers to this, right? Because look, you have old school preachers, and then you have you have the Gen X preachers, right? When I was coming up, you had to be called into the ministry, right?
Yes.
You would not grace a pulpit. You couldn't even, as a kid or as a young person, as an adult, you could not walk across the pulpit. That's sacred ground. You had to be called.
That's it, called.
Right. And so a lot of people, and so the problem is a lot of these people that are preaching now haven't been called.
No.
They woke up one morning and said, "Ooh, I think I'm gonna start a church." And then they take a couple of theology classes online. And then boom. Right. You know what I'm saying? There are people that you can go online now and be certified as an ordained minister.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I don't like that.
It only takes a few hours.
I don't get it. Why do that? Why break the religion path of doing it the righteous way of how it should be done?
Because people are greedy.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So
people are greedy and selfish. That's the reason why.
If we read into it, like you said, there's so many layers, right? Let's get in between that layer. If you want to really look at that, isn't that one of the sins? We're not really going by the Bible. It's greed. Yeah. Right. It's greed and it's pride. Pride is one of the sins in the Bible. So if we're literally going in between the layers right now, going online to be an ordained minister would be a sin.
Let me go ahead and break this down. What's the easiest way to manipulate and control someone?
Religion.
Exactly. Case closed. People who want to be in power, they use religion. That's why with our government, there's supposed to be a separation of church and state that no longer exists. Because if they use religion, they can control the masses.
Oh yeah, they can. And that used to be done in the crucifix days, the crucifixion days. Those days were where if you didn't abide by the religion, that the mass religion there, well, guess what? You were killed. Right. That's why the war, the church, the wars back then were religious wars. So they had to separate it because the religion was playing. They were playing the religious role on everybody. It's either you do this and you die.
Okay, let me help you, man. Listen, if we live by the Bible, half of us would be dead now.
Oh
yeah.
And we live by the Bible straight up. Listen, because there's part about if you stole in the Bible,
you got your hands cut off.
Get your hand cut off. There's gonna be a lot of one-handed folks running around here. Right. There'll be a lot of one-handed folks walking around here if we live by
no prison. We wouldn't even have a prison.
The Bible. We've been cherry picking the Bible. See, this is another thing that's wrong with this new generation, and they're talking about thinking about church and jumping into religion. That's why people they're called woke. It's because they see the blatant the gaps.
Cherry picking.
Right, you're cherry picking the word of God. You're not living it completely. And to Kevin's comment earlier about when people start picking their churches, Ben said it in the comments. It's about pride. A lot of times, people pick church for prestige purpose. People used to pick.
Oh no, it's not only that; it's for convenience also.
It don't have anything to do with convenience. No, it doesn't. There are people that would drive these people when Eddie Long was alive. People would drive from Charlotte 4 hours away to go to New Birth in Atlanta.
Just go to say I go to Eddie Long Church.
Oh yeah, no,
You
but
know what
some
I'm
of
saying?
these
So it's
people,
not about convenience.
no,
They don't care
I'm
about
not. I'm not
convenience. It's
saying
about
everybody does it.
prestige
I'm
sometimes.
saying there's some people that will pick a church just because it's the nearest church, or
And
they'll pick a
that's
church
possible.
due to the fact that it's like, you know, out of all of them, like you say,
Yeah.
there's a prestigious church that, you know, hey, he's there. Some people drive from here to go to Houston to what's that guy's name?
TD Jakes.
No,
It's not TD
Joel
Jakes.
Osteen Church.
Joel Osteen.
Joe Osteen.
They'll go to Joel Osteen from here. They'll drive 2 to 3 hours just to go to Joel Osteen.
Just to go there.
Like you said. But
Right.
some people will do it just based on convenience. You cannot
I mean,
do it based
sometimes-
on convenience.
well,
It is stupid.
Hold on. No, that's not stupid. You doing it on convenience. It is if I can get fed from the church across the street or around the corner, then absolutely. But if I am getting manipulated and hurt in the church across the street and around the corner, then it's time to move on. You know what I'm saying? So it's not always.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. You're reading into my point. My point is it's dumb because you're not really going to that church for what you're trying to get fed. You're trying to get fed the rules of engagement for the Bible. And when you're instead of doing that, you're getting fed lies and manipulation. Yeah, you're dumb for staying there. It's stupidity based on what you're on the convenience of you going there.
Let me just end my statement on this.
Okay.
Referring to you saying a pastor had to be called, Kevin, Reverend Obadiah Hall, my cousin and pastor. You remember him from Solomon?
Mm-hmm.
He told how he was called to the pulpit. He said how he was called. Gave that sermon at least once a month because he said, "I see the church and the ministry changing."
Yeah. If people lived, because there was a level of fear because when you get that calling, if you have been called to preach, anybody that's listening, Ben should know, Pastor Smith and the BS3 Network, he knows when you're called into the ministry, it's a life-changing thing. And you know that if you do something crazy, you know that that is going to constitute blood on your hands. And we don't want to touch that. But now these folks are walking through here with no counterfeit. They're just like, I take all the blood. I take all the blood from the sheep, and it's whatever. As long as I got my Bentley, I'm good to go. But see, let's go ahead. And the problem also is that with pastors, they make these dumb statements and they go viral with these dumb movies, right? These dumb TikToks and videos and such. Then you got to come back and fix your face. You got to come back and fix your face. Let's play the apology. There's an apology that Mr. Vandenberg did. I'm gonna run that. I guess it'll play.
And go figure, it's on their website.
Yeah, Church at the Well here in Kansas City. I'm actually I say here in Kansas City.
Go figure, it's on their website.
Here you go.
My name is Carlton Funderburg. I'm the senior pastor of Church at the Well right here in Kansas City, Missouri. I want to take this moment to address the now viral video clip of me from a sermon given August the 7th, 2022. Though there is context behind the content of the clip, no context will suffice to explain the hurt and anguish caused by my words. I've spoken to those I am accountable to and have received their correction and instruction. I have also privately apologized to our church, who has extended their love and support to me.
You lying, bro.
I'm privileged to do life with them. The video clip does not reflect my heart or my sentiments toward God's people, yet that's not discernible in the clip. Therefore, I offer this sincere apology to you today. No context could erase the words I used. I apologize to all who have been hurt, angered, or in any way damaged by my words. The zeal of any presentation must be tempered with love and respect, and that was not displayed. I apologize to the church at large for any undue scrutiny I have subjected you to.
Okay about that.
I apologize to every preacher and pastor who must stand up under the controversy that I have caused. To those who know and love me, thank you for your support. To those who now know me, because of this video clip, I regret that your first impression of me is one of anger, hate, and resentment.
Come on,
My
Ben.
actions and my words are inexcusable. I offer no justification or defense. That moment was mishandled and mismanaged. I deeply regret this moment, and I solicit your prayers and your forgiveness as we grow forward. Thank you. God bless you. Go with God, and He'll go with you.
Go with God, Crispy. Check this out now. It's just like the first thing Ben said, and I was gonna say it when right when he got finished here, is that he was reading a piece of paper. He wasn't even sincere.
There was nothing heartfelt. I mean, and just like Ben said, there was nothing. He's reading off of a paper, yet when he was saying what he said, he didn't read it off of paper.
He said it with his whole chest.
He said it with his
whole
damn chest. So
Yeah.
when you're apologizing, you own it, right? I didn't feel any ownership of that apology either.
I don't feel like
when
those
you
were his
apologize,
words.
exactly,
You know,
and it's
old
on their website, so I feel like that's probably the congregation or someone who wrote that.
He's pressured
so he
into
can
that.
read it. So what I'm thinking though, and this is me, when somebody apologizes, like Terry, if you were to apologize, like say you said something, you did something wrong to me, and you want to apologize, it needs to be owned. There shouldn't be no ands, ifs, or buts within that apology whatsoever, right? And you own it. It's got to be heartfelt as well. Yeah. There was nothing in that felt like he owned that apology.
He did not own it.
You know what I mean? And we've had this discussion before between all of us. You know, on another show, y'all should go check it out. By the way, all of them.
Yeah.
Go back and replay all of them. Yeah. No, but I just feel like there was nothing in there that was sediment. There was no type of emotion. It felt dead. Am I the only one that felt that? It felt real dead.
Yeah, it just felt red.
There was no emotion.
It didn't feel dead. It just felt red. It felt unsincere.
Exactly.
And he was doing it because when you remember the part of it when he said, "I've already talked to the people that I was accountable to." That's his see, old school preacher. I'm gonna take y'all old school for a second. Now we're not gonna do Gen X. We're gonna do old school. Old school, you had to be covered by somebody before you opened your mouth, right? And so, and Ben and Ben would attest. If Ben knows old school, you did not open your mouth, and if you made a mistake after you opened your mouth, the old school people will cut you all the way off. They was like, you got to sit down. You have to sit. You can no longer be just pastor for these couple of weeks. People says, whatever.
That's he would have been sat down.
He been sat down. There was no way. So his apology is behind the covering. Somebody's back there saying you need to apologize. If you don't, we'll see you now. I mean, so it's just so despicable. You shouldn't even say it's bad, but it's almost as bad as Kim Burrell when she got up there at Pastor Carnes' church the other week and was talking about the people being ugly and all that good stuff. I mean, this stop.
So and here's my thing about this, because Q, Greater Springfield and Greenville, right?
Unfortunately, I do.
That's a family church of mine. My uncle took over as pastor after a while. After it was Reverend Red, and then there was a few others. And like you said, there's a lot of people. My uncle was called up after a while, and he's been covering the church for the longest. So I would definitely say if something bad was to happen, they would definitely, I can attest, they would definitely cut that pastor off. My Uncle Mickey, who passed away, was, one of the ones that really brought that church back to life. A lot of people had left that church, and he brought
that's what I'm saying. That when I said, unfortunately, I do, we used to go and visit that church.
You answered your own question, Al. You answered your own question.
Yeah.
Al said in the questions, real quick. I think we're gonna stay here the rest of the show, I guess. But here's what Al said. Al said, "Why is?" And Ben asked it earlier. Why are the people in the background, and the congregation agreeing with
Because
this
they
nonsense
brainwashed.
because it's a complete brainwash and it's a complete cult-like feel.
And they're scared.
It's wrong, and it's scary. And when you are in the congregation and you're paying your tithes to this congregation, and you've instilled in you've what's the word, when you rooted into this church, you're going to agree with everything, even though it's wrong.
Yeah.
At some point, you're going to have some level of common sense and be like, that ain't what.
Yeah, that's supposed to go. That don't fit.
Right.
You know?
The algebra ain't algebra here. How'd they get here?
And just like
That
you're saying,
math
though,
ain't mathing.
Right.
just like you're saying, though, like a lot of people, like nowadays, people see these pastors and preachers as the hierarchy now.
Right.
The hierarchy is who?
Well, it's supposed to be God. It's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah,
But some of these people are seeing Joel Osteen and T.D. Jakes and these other pastors now. And even these guys, I never heard of this guy, but a lot of people apparently are seeing these people as these pastors. They're not looking at them as people. They're looking at them as like celebrities or people. Yeah. He's no longer a messenger at that point. So if you're not seeing him as a messenger, I look at my pastor as a messenger, and I can trust him. Right. You know, of course, I wouldn't let him marry us if I didn't trust him. But Jesus Christ, something's got to give. If they're not losing people at that church, something is wrong.
Right.
They're not, and if they don't sit his narrow behind down,
but those days are gone. The sit down.
Those days
they're
definitely
gone. But if they're not cutting him, if they're not cutting the head of the church off, there's something wrong in that church. And if people are not seeing this, you're playing you're repeating, you're in a circle, you're just, it's just going over, you're stuck for no reason.
I wish it was that simple. It's not. And
let's move on to some other topics.
Yeah,
let's just focus on this next week. Let's focus on this next week.
Ben said, hello, let me read some comments here. Ben said, members aren't allowed to ask questions the most times. I respect my church. Who's this?
Okay. Ooh, my baby put up something nice too.
That's right here. Let me know how we have too many churches. We don't know our role.
We don't. A lot of people don't.
Everyone's not a pastor. Ben said, members aren't allowed to ask questions. Most of the times I respect my church as a Q&A every Saturday. Here's the thing. As
you know what, Ben, there's so much respect behind that.
Yeah. Here's the thing. And we're going to move to our next topic here. As a pastor, though, if you are a true pastor, if you have been called by God, if you made a mistake like that, then you should be open to that ridicule. You should be open to that. People, there's no way, like Ben said, his church, they have a Q&A every Sunday. If I've said anything during the course of the week, in the course of the sermon, that concerns you, talk about it. Ask me about it, whatever. But there are so many people who are just flowing in the false prophecy. They're flowing in the false prophetic, and people are just sucking it up. Why? Because they forget, like to your point earlier, Kevin, they forget what church is about. It's about in Gen X and not talking about, not really dumping on Gen X, but there are a lot of people who is like, okay, I am just gonna go because he dresses nice. He's got a nice car. I got prestige, news birth, and this and that, and the third, right? But it's supposed to be about the relationship between you and your Jesus, and you and your God. But when pastors get to the point where they know that they're starting to be this they come out of the realm of being a messenger to something else, they should humble themselves and bring it down and say, okay, y'all, we need to, don't forget, I am just a man. This is not about me. But they don't do that no more. They don't do it no more. And that's the reason why the church is so lost, and the church will stay lost until they figure it all out. All right, but we're gonna move on now. All right, moving on to our next topic now. A couple of weeks ago, we had a tragic loss, and Kevin can attest to this because Kevin is a youth baseball coach. We lost a great, according to some reports, he was a great man in the community. Michael Hickman, who was a football coach, was tragically killed at a football game here. It had to be a couple months ago, maybe, and him and the refs and the coach for the other team got into an argument, and the coach of the other team pulled out a gun and decided to end his life. Kevin, what was that about, man?
All right. Well, first let's start off. I want to say shout out to CJ Boyd. I wanted to bring him in, but it was just so much we had to cover. Unfortunately, we weren't going to be able to bring him in. But thank you, CJ Boyd, part of the BS3 Family Network. What happened? This coach. Let me pull up my notes because, there's a lot in this. First of all, it was Aqib Talib younger brother killed the coach over a scrimmage game. I will repeat that, a scrimmage game. For those of you that don't know, this is not a real game. This is obviously
that's stupid.
It's a practice game, pretty much. So this is how pathetic it is. And being that you are a brother of an NFL player,
right?
If I'm not mistaken, he's still playing, by the way.
I don't think he is.
The younger brother. You are really you're pathetic over this whole nonsense. This is just it's so dumb. It was over a meaningless scrimmage between a pair of 9-year-old and under football teams from different leagues on a sun-baked, dingy yellow field and at Lancaster Community Park that ended countless lives forever. That forever changed. It says, coaches, players, fans, officials will never forget the day they saw a coach dying on the field, his body riddled with bullets. Now, the coach's son sat there and watched his dad die on the football field. By the way, his son is part of the football team. This guy was part of the community. This guy literally did everything he could to give back to the community as a coach. This hit very different for me because I see myself as a community man, serving for as a baseball coach. I do what I can for players. I go beyond, when players don't have a parent that they can follow. Hey, you can always call me. You can always text me. You can follow me. I will be your mentor. If you don't have a mentor and a parent or anyone else around you, if you don't have a male figure, come to me. And this is why it hits different because it's just like he's a man of the community. I feel like I'm a man of community. But why do we men have to suffer over your pathetic, pride as a parent? I don't get it. A lot of these parents don't know how to be a parent.
Coach Mike Hickman was loved.
And you're not even on the freaking football field or the baseball field as a coach. If you wanted to do it, then you create your own team and put your son on there. Before I even get into my feelings about this whole thing, this tragic, man. All right. So, yeah, what I feel is that we coaches, we try our best to make these kids what they should be with talent and whatnot. If you didn't have the talent, then of course your playing time is gonna be affected. That's only right. That is only right, especially if you're one of these teams that you pay a lot of money to be on you as a player, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your parents, pay you pay to be on these travel teams and whatnot. My job as a coach is to put the best 9 players, just as he was supposed to put the best players for that team to put together wins, to be able to put a team together and dominate the field as they should. So why do these parents think they have any? Just because you pay don't mean shit. I don't give a damn about that. If your kid is not putting in the work and on and off the field like they should to get better, then it's on you and your kid. If I got somebody that's better than you, of course they're gonna play. You would get your playing time as it comes, as I feel it should. But this is what happens when we got parents that want to be coaches, and coaches that don't want to back down, like myself and this coach here, because I didn't back down at all when I had my altercation.
Okay.
I'll be damned if I'm gonna back down.
All right. Here's the question, because we can go into our personal feelings all day, and I guess personal feelings too. But here's the deal: we've lost in our community now. We've lost another positive role model in our community. The topic of today's episode is what's going on in our community. What's going on?
I just said it.
Why in the world?
And that's the cause of it, though. We got parents. The parents are the cause of it. They want everything handed to their damn kids on the damn silver platter. We're not coaches are not here to what's the word I'm looking for? We're not here to pamper your kid. We're not here to babyfy your kid. If you want participation trophies, you go to the Little League. You go to other teams for that. We're not here for that. We're here to bring out the talent. We're here to bring out the best in your kid. And if your kid is not the best, of course, there's somebody else that's going to take your job. Just like in the real world. That's why I tell my kids on the field. I tell them in practice and at games. You take what you learn on this baseball field.
That makes sense.
You take what you learn on this baseball field and you apply it to life.
Right.
I'll repeat that. You take what you learn and you apply it to life. My brother taught us, all of us, when he was our coach, my brother Pete. So, and that's what we did. And you look at how many healthy people we got from our baseball team. Look how many healthy kids I got from my baseball teams.
Right.
Very smart, intelligent kids. But we got parents out here that want to play the parent and the coach. I hate that. I've seen it, and it's pathetic. Okay. So that's what happened with this altercation, that he didn't agree with what the coach, the playing time and whatnot with this parent. I mean, with the kid that was being affected on their playing time. Mm-hmm. Don't come to me if your kid is not putting in that time. Don't come to me and say, "Oh, my kid don't deserve to be on the bench." That's a bunch of bullshit.
Well, at the end of the day, this brother is gone. Another positive role model gone. I want to rest in peace, Michael Hitman. And I want parents who are listening to this, who are watching this, that may watch this later. Look, baby, it's a game, and it's just not worth, nobody's life. Stay in your lane.
I need parents to take several fucking seats.
Yeah, stay in your lane.
I need that. I need parents to take several fucking seats and let coaches do what they do. Because if you felt so strong about your kids and what kids need playing time, why isn't your ass the fucking coach? Instead of giving excuses, I gotta work, I gotta do this. No, you're not the coach. Understand that. Yeah. You're not gonna tell an NFL coach or a professional coach that. Why? What makes you think you got the galls to give any coach? There is, if they do it to high school coaches. There was a high school coach that lost his life 3 months ago. Same shit, basketball coach.
Yeah, just weird.
It's dumb. Don't live out like Al said. Don't live out your kid's life through yourself. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's pathetic. It's stupid, and it's just, I don't know, man. Trust me, and if I had a chance to this day, if I had a chance, because this makes me not want to coach. Like I'm gonna be honest, and there's gonna be a lot of coaches. Why should we put ourselves in jeopardy to go to jail or even lose our lives over this nonsense? And that's essentially that's what this is.
Yeah,
it's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah,
so why should we coaches do that? Put ourselves, we're volunteering on top of that. We're not getting paid for this.
Right. And then, I mean, if the coaches go, then what do the kids do?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. But we're gonna move on. I know this is a tight subject, and I see Kevin's very passionate about it. But we're gonna move on to the next topic right here. Like, all right, y'all. On a brighter note, as we go toward the end of the show here, do you guys remember Felicia? The viral term. See, everybody uses the term "Bye Felicia," "Bye Felicia," but just in case you guys don't know, her real name is Angela Means, and she played the character of Felicia on the movie Friday. And so, just in case you guys that are watching don't know who that is, that's who that is. Her son played starting quarterback for the Miami Hurricanes, Mr. Kaya. And Kevin wanted to talk about Miss Means today, or was it Quinn? Who was it?
Who's Kevin?
We all can.
And
Because
why are we here?
let's
Why Angela?
because she's people don't know, and E Digger had a show a couple of weeks ago that kind of dipped into this as well. Um, People need to have several seats when it comes to actors. You take this a little too damn serious for me, for anybody. They get on they see these actors on the road and they buy Felicia, or they make them feel like shit. Oh, you dirt. They made her cry. They had an interview with DJ Vlad. She had an interview with DJ Vlad, and she expressed how fans make her feel. Fans make her cry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna repeat that. Fans make her fucking cry. Fans of the movie. Not any other movie that she's done. Can we name it all the movies that she's done?
Sure, King Dog.
Can we name, if you're a fan of Friday and you've seen her on Friday, name other movies that she's done. She's done a number of them. She's a comedian, as a matter of fact. She was in Def Jam comedy back in the day. She's done a number of projects, but yet y'all pick one movie, one phrase, and just say, "Ooh, you dirty." It's a damn acting job, people.
Hey, Queen, what do you think about Angela Means, bro?
I hate that she's going through that, but it just shows how iconic her role was.
Yeah, it was a role.
It shows how iconic her role was. I hate she's going through that, but Bill Bellamy went through the same thing.
Yep,
he did.
A lot of actors go through that. They get typecast as this one person, especially if it's somebody that's not in a positive light.
Yeah. Like so some people were able to make it out of that. Like, let's say Chris Rock, for instance. When he was in what was that old school movie?
New Jack City.
He was able to make it out as a comedian, and then he was able to get other projects, right? And she was funny too. I mean, y'all go watch her. She was hella fun, but she wasn't, and she's gotten other projects after Friday, by the way. But you know, some of these actors, when they get casted, like Q said, they don't make it. They don't get other roles because of how they're seen already. A lot of actors go and get dished out that way, and a lot of actors turn down. There's some actors you could say are very smart for turning down certain projects or certain lines or certain casts as for that movie, because they see the tunnel that they're going to be locked in on, such as Angela Means. Angela Means ended up being this iconic. Everybody, we can literally say everybody in this movie was iconic.
Yeah,
all the way down to
classic. It's a classic.
It's a very big classic. All the way down to what's his name that just recently passed away?
Giselle.
Pops. All of them were. But to call her dirty in our society, I mean, you got to.
Thanks, Al.
Thank you, my guy. You got to. It just shows how pathetic people are and just rude you are.
Yeah.
You know, I feel bad for her. I don't see myself. I guess it just goes to show you how you were raised. Because I can't see myself, or even my kids, or even my wife. I don't see anybody around me to do anything that stupid.
Yeah.
Who it's a character. Oh, well, as a matter of fact, recently there was what's his name? The kid off of 50 Cent show. I don't know his name.
Power.
Is it Cower?
Power.
Yeah, the show Power. But
Mhm.
what's the guy, the kid that took over took over Ghost son.
Yeah.
He
He
was
will always
out.
be Ghost Man.
Yeah. So in that, and that's how people see her. They don't see her as Angela. I mean, they see her as Felicia. They don't see her as the character. I mean, the
Yeah. It's
comedian.
Amber Heard. Yeah.
So God, look at you. But anyway, like I'm saying, they like him, they don't see him as they don't see what he does as an act. They see it as in it's a role that is real life. Somebody wanted to fight him in New York. Why would you want to fight an actor over what is their job for drama or just acting? It's just like Ben said, it's so unfair to
Yeah.
actors.
It is.
It's acting. Fucking
Okay.
crying out loud, man. I don't know, man.
It's really weird. All right, we're gonna move on. This is the last section. Shout out to E Digger. He's not here. So in honor of E Digger, we're gonna roll.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Meep Meep of the week.
Meep Meep.
Oh yeah, the Meep Meep of the week. He's not even here, but apparently our Meep Meep this week is Mr. Irv Gotti of Murder Inc. Of course, you guys know, if you know anything about Irv Gotti and Murder Inc. and Ashanti and Ja Rule and all those guys, there is a documentary coming out. I think this is Quinn's section right here. We was talking about who's on the. You got that video queued up for me?
I do, but I don't think we have time to go through it. So I could
we
just
got a few minutes. We can roll over a few minutes. Being won't cuss me out if we run a little over. But so he was on. What was he on?
Drink Champs.
Drink Champs, and he was talking about the run-ins with Ashanti and discovering her. And this and this. I'm gonna let Q take it away, brother.
All right, so recently on Drink Champs, you had Irv Gotti going on there. He's trying to promote his new show, new documentary on Murder Inc. So while on Drink Champs, him and Ja Rule were on there. He starts to get in his feelings. He started getting real light skinned. So I'm just gonna let the YouTube video explain it, because I'm going to, I'll go in afterwards. I feel kind of like E Digger on these kind of guys. So I'm going to share this video.
Hey, what's up, my little tattletales? How y'all doing today? Well, if you are Irv Gotti, you are making a D fool of yourself, y'all. If y'all haven't heard what's going on between Ashanti, Ja Rule, his B self. I can't even talk because I'm trying to stay monetized. And then Joe, I was about to say Joe Budden. And then Fat Joe coming in to the rescue. And even Judge Mathis jumped in and said he thinks Ashanti should pursue legal action. Y'all, let's get into this. Let me just give you a little backstory. Ashanti was like 2021 when she signed to Murder Inc., and of which Irv Gotti owned. And Irv produced most of the music of Ja Rule and Ashanti, and also J-Lo's biggest hits with Ja Rule. Now get this, Ashanti always denied any rumors of them having a relationship. So this Drink Champs interview was just him trying to humiliate her, because Ashanti refused, in my opinion, to take part of his documentary, and because she wants her masters, and because he's a creepy misogynist who resented her for not continuing to be his plaything once she felt like she didn't need to play those games no more.
All right.
Not creepy misogynist. Ooh. Irv?
There goes some backstory right there. So Irv got it on Drink Champs. He's really salty because of how he found out that Ashanti and Nelly were together. So it's he was already married. He found out while he was with his wife that You know
Wait
what
a
I'm
minute.
saying?
Ho. Stop right there. Did you say his wife?
Yeah. Well,
Wait,
at
Irv
the
was
time,
married?
at the time he was married to his wife. He was messing with Ashanti,
Come
and
on.
while he was at home
Really?
with his wife, found out that Nelly and Ashanti were together at a Knicks game.
Come on.
So and then you got Ja Rule. I'll suggest people go watch the Drink Champs
Yeah,
That's
please
crazy.
do.
show.
That's crazy.
Ja Rule sent up that co-signing and all. Like he ain't even standing up for it, because me as a man, knowing what this man is about to do, because you see him getting in his feelings, you know the backstory. Hey, yo, bro, this ain't the time or place for that. Calm that down.
Come on.
Irv Gotti is
He's a cornball.
corny. He corny for this. This is dumb, bro. That's 20 years ago, and you still in your feelings.
Oh
And
my
I know we all know Ashanti looking good now. She was looking good back
She's
then,
always
but
looked gorgeous.
But she fire right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
He's
know
got that
what?
milkshake for real.
You know what?
But
And
he really
literally
needs
shot
to sit
himself
down.
in the foot.
No, he's going to make money off of this
Is
because they want people
is he
messy.
still married? Do we
No,
know
he's not married. I don't know. He's not married. But he is going to make money off of this because human nature. People are going to watch that documentary because they want to see the mess. They want to see how messy it's going to get. Like Nelly already had kind of like threw some shade, because recently at a show he brought Ashanti on stage with him, and they did the song "Body on Me." And while Ashanti was walking off stage, Nelly said, "Hey, yo, I got a couple of tickets to the Knicks. Let's link up and go." This happened.
I love it.
This happened right after Irv Gotti did his thing. But you know what, man? Like I'm saying, like he corny for that. He lame for that. And Irv Gotti, you 50 years old, bro. Acting.
Let it go.
Here's another thing though. You touched on the Q. Ja Rule, he had the nerve to put up. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was on Instagram. I should have gave it to you. I couldn't find it though. But he had a public apology on social media saying that as a big brother to Ashanti and as a brother to Irv, he felt how he said how he felt. I felt disturbed. It's not something that should have been done, blah, blah, blah. But you laughing and joking around while he talking. So you just as much as a cornball to, as Irv is. And then all of a sudden you want to apologize later. Don't give me the bull that you've been drinking on the show, because of course it's called Drink Champs. You drink on the show. But still, you were of the mind to where you can actually say, you know what? Yeah. That's not what we need. We don't need to go there. Yeah. Also, how he put in the apology, or not even wasn't even an apology. I don't think he just pretty much said, "Don't put me in the middle of this." So it's really not even an apology. It's just, don't put me in the middle of this. I'm a brother to you. I'm a brother to you. Don't put me in the middle. Motherfucker, you already in the middle. You were on the show. Once you get how the old school saying, once you laugh or once you grin, you in. When you over there, you in the middle of it already. You had a good time laughing and joking around with it, so you in the middle of the bullshit. So I really hope Ashanti nails their asses to the wall.
I hope so too. I hope that she gets what she needs and everything. So, but listen, we got one last section. I know I said two. There's one more that I'm going to start doing because you guys know my love for my job that I have. I sell cars for a living. So there's some people that are watching and listening that don't know how this car game goes. So what I'm going to do is
do a plug-in. Is he about to try to get some customers? I don't want to buy a car from you.
I am going to do a car buying tip every single Sunday because I feel like we perish for the lack of knowledge, right? When you guys go into a dealership to buy a car, there are certain things that you don't know that was going to help you get a better deal. But we're going to get into that. Hold on. Where's my arrow at? There we go. All right, here's the car buying tip of the week, man. Listen, if you are in the market for a car right now, new or used, okay, there's a few things that are universal between new and used cars. But today I'm just going to focus on just a new car. The market is funky for new cars right now. If you're looking for a new car, there are a lot of dealerships that are charging over sticker. So my tip today is if you are looking for a new car, be mindful when you call up for that Palisade or when you call up for that Telluride or Tesla or whatever it is you're going to buy, ask them if they're doing a market adjustment. The last thing you want to do is to get to the end of the process and then they add on the extra $5,000 and you have no idea where it came from because you didn't ask your questions, right? So when you go into a dealership and you start asking about a new car, this is just a new car now. When you go in there, you ask them, are you guys doing any market adjustments? That's the markup, right? Because if you don't, they'll tell you that halfway through the process, and then you'd be like, "But you didn't tell me that," and then now you have a bad experience because you feel like now the deal's lying to you, right? So go in, ask the questions you need to ask. Is there a market adjustment? Because there are some outrageous markups going on new cars, especially if it's a popular car like the Hyundai Palisade, which I sell. The Kia Telluride is a third row vehicle. Everybody wants one of those. Teslas,
We got one.
anything. I mean, so what you got?
We got a Jeep Grand Cherokee 2021 that just came out last year.
See what I'm saying? And even I bet you if you didn't keep it, they probably got you for $3,000, $3 or $4,000 over and didn't tell you.
Probably.
You know
I didn't know anything like that. So
yeah.
Let me ask you this then. Since you are, I consider you an expert. I have experts in certain fields, whether it comes from housing or car buying or car or salesman. Let me ask you this then.
Okay.
So let's say, first question is the, like you said, the, what is it, the market value, is that negotiable at any point?
On new cars, no. If you're buying a new car, don't argue a new car price. Why are we arguing a new car price?
Right.
You're not going to go into Walmart and argue the price of their shoes.
So what's the real meaning for what's the real meaning of you saying
the market adjustment?
Market adjustment.
The market adjustment is because a lot of dealerships are taking advantage of the fact that no dealerships have inventory. So the demand is high, right? So let's say, for example, there's two dealerships here in Columbia. We'll just as an example. One has a Hyundai Palisade. The other has a Hyundai Palisade. They're both the same vehicle, right? Or no, one, yeah. And so the other one dealership has it sold, and they say, okay, well, I will sell you this Palisade, but you have to give me $10,000 over what I paid for it.
Oh,
right, because of the demand.
Right.
It's because of the market adjustment. That's what makes the market adjustments, because of the demand. Because people don't want to wait.
The supply and
if
demand.
If I could go down here and get a Palisade or a Telluride from somebody, yeah, I might pay a little extra for it, but at least I can get it today. I don't have to wait. So a lot of dealerships are taking advantage of that. Yeah, it's like, oh, you want this? You can get it, $10,000 over.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
And so be mindful of that. If you're shopping, this is anybody who's listening. If you're shopping for a new car, the first question out of your mouth to any dealership is going to be, are you guys doing any market adjustments? Write it down. Take a picture. Like Felicia said, right? Take a picture.
I'm glad you're doing this now, because I got some questions too, man. I got some questions on, as to why people, why do companies go back into 6 to 8 years of credit history instead of 1 year of credit history like houses do? That part I don't get.
Cars don't go that far back.
Well, when you're, let's say when you're, before you sign on any dotted line, of course you got to do a credit check. They do a credit history of 6 to 8 years. When we did ours, they were doing 6 to 8 years, right, babe? They were doing 6 to 8 years of credit history on ours, and that's why they were like, because I fixed my credit. My credit's at a 743 now.
Okay. Well, anytime a bank does that, they're trying to establish your the history of your credit. So let's say, for example, you at 6-7 years ago you had crappy credit, and then all of a sudden, just 6 months ago, you said you want to fix it. You know what I'm saying? So a bank will look at it and go, "Oh, well, what were they doing for the last 6.5 years? And now they want to straighten it out, so they want to buy a car." So a lot of banks will deny you because of that, right? Also, they're looking for to see if you have what your debt to income ratio is.
Debt to income ratio, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if that's high, they'll deny you.
We really ain't got nothing until we buy our house. That's why we we actually got some secrets behind that when it comes to someone that told us about buying a house. They told us some secrets, so we're gonna use that to our advantage.
Yeah. All right, so listen, guys, I'm not going to go to a tangent, but for every Sunday I'm gonna do a car buying tip, because like I said before, we perish for the lack of knowledge, and I want you guys to go into a dealership with all of your knowledge. And when I want people to come back to me or come into this show and say, you know what, Terry, listen to what you said, and guess what I got. You know what I'm saying? And I got a good deal on. So that's the goal here. But thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate you. I hope you share the broadcast out to all of you people. If, like I said before at the top of the show, if you see a survey on my personal Facebook page for BS3 and the awards, man, go ahead and vote. It's just not for us innards, in the BS3 folks, but that's for everybody else too who watches the programming. Make sure you vote for us. That would be not for us, but just for the network. All right. But until next weekend, next Sunday, you guys have a great one. Love y'all. I'm talking my outro. There it is. You guys have a great weekend and a great week, and we'll see you next week.